I am Bill Stevenson from Spotlight. Damn. Beep. Hi, I'm Bill Stevenson, president of Spotlight Realty, and today we're going to discuss the truth about buying new construction versus buying existing homes. A few things you need to know if you're accustomed to buying an existing home, and if this is the first time that you're going into buying a home that's under construction from a builder or in a new developing neighborhood. First thing is that the contract that you're going to be signing in order to go into a purchase agreement to buy this house is not a standard contract. It's not going to be something that your agent is familiar with. It's going to be something that the builder dreamt up on almost every occasion. I would say 90%, 95% of the time, they're going to have their own custom contract that, you may be suspicious that it's designed to protect the builder and protect the builder's interests, and you would probably be correct in assuming that. I mean, that's just a rational thought, right? The problem is that there are no options, right? You're not going to be able to change that contract, and if you don't sign that contract, you're not going to buy that house. So that's one thing to remember and one thing to be comfortable with. Okay, the second difference is that when you buy an existing home, there's earnest money that can sometimes, under some circumstances, be refundable. When you put a deposit down, it's usually a lot larger. A deposit on a new home, on a home that's under construction, the deposit may not be refundable at all. So you may have a $50,000 deposit down, and if you back out of the transaction or you decide not to go through with it, you may not be able to get that $50,000 back, for example. So that's something to think about too, something to ask the builder about before you go under contract. Another big difference is an uncertain timeline. Typically, when you buy an existing home, you have something like 6 weeks, you have a closing date set, and unless something is strange, unless something goes radically wrong, that closing date is usually hit. Most of the time it is. And if it isn't, it's just off by a few days. Now, when you buy new construction, a lot can happen in new construction, and because it's just a lot chancier as far as the timeline goes. So there are delays of not just days or weeks, but sometimes months, sometimes 6 months. You never really know. So make sure you get a pretty good idea of what the expectations of the builder are when going into buying a new home. And then you should probably add a little bit of time onto it and make sure that that you would be okay if it were delayed by months rather than a few days. And finally, we've talked about it before, but it really helps if you go into the process of buying a new construction home, if you have an awful lot of discipline. You'll be asked to upgrade this and upgrade that, and $3,000-$5,000 at a time. You'll be, in the end, way over budget, and you really need to avoid that. So exercise discipline. Go into it with a very firm idea of what you want to spend, and don't go above it. So those are the differences between buying new construction and buying an existing home. If you have any questions, contact me, Bill Stevenson, or anybody on the Spotlight Realty team. Thanks.